Hi, welcome to Business Influencers. My name is Chris Salem, your host. I hope everyone is having a great week here. We are so excited if you are new to the TALRadio platform, that is short for Touch of Life Foundation. Business Influencers has been on this platform now going on 5 years. It is hard to believe it's been that long. We started during COVID at the time, and we are excited to see you here. And again, you could follow us here at TALRadio. In addition, we are also on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, as other areas that you can listen to this show at any time. We are a weekly show, so feel free to go back and listen to many of the great episodes we've had over the years with great guests sharing their personal insights to help elevate you and your business's level of influence to the next level. It's through the power of influence we can impact and empower the audiences that we serve to rise up, to be their best, and to make this world a better place through the concept of business. Today's show is being brought to you today by Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types and an opportunity to meet new people for the first time. Now, it is a membership program taking out all the noise out of social media. You get to generate genuine and authentic relationships with the people you choose to interact with. If you'd like some more information about Alumni Direct, check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, I'm excited today. We all live in this world of AI, and it's just a matter of time. Are we going to incorporate AI to complement what we are doing in our businesses to help take it to the next level? And it's through AI we could also raise our level of influence. Well, we've got the right person here today. Going to be talking just about that, how they built an AI platform to stop brands from accidentally greenwashing themselves before they hit publish. And in a world where companies are being fined, investigated, and publicly shamed for sustainability claims that don't hold up to scrutiny, you're going to be hearing from the person behind the scenes helping household names get it right. So our guest today is going to be Helen Neal. She's the founder of HN Communications, a B Corp-certified sustainability communications consultancy whose clients include Bosch, Heineken, Asahi, Nissan, Aston Martin. She came up through the UK Parliament and government affairs roles at Virgin Atlantic and Nissan before founding her own agency back in 2017. She knows the regulatory landscape from the inside. And what has she built? Well, she's built a platform called Zena, an AI pre-pub governance platform that checks sustainability content against 5 regulatory frameworks, where you're going to find about what those are. The Green Claims Code, the EU Green Claims Directive, CSRD, ASA guidelines, and more. And she has appeared on Echo Send, PR Not BS, and The Wise Why, and is comfortable, and as you're going to be hearing today, sharing this here on this episode of Business Influencers. And without further ado, we welcome Helen Neal to the show. Helen, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Chris. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. And Helen, we always like to start off, what you're going to be talking today. You're going to be talking today about transform your business in the age of AI. Talk about your journey with your organization. What led you up today adopting AI, using it to its full capacity, and what you're going to be sharing with us today?
Yeah, sure, Chris. Well, I think it's really important to start off the fact that I am not a technical expert. I do not have a background in computing, data science. I am, in fact, what people might call a technophobe. To be quite honest with you, technology is not my thing. But I think if I can leave people with anything today, it's to talk to them about how you can adopt AI into your business and actually help to transform your business, regardless of whether you think this is for you or not. We know it's coming, it's already here. We only have to look on social to feel totally bombarded and bamboozled by what AI means for us all. And sometimes it might be that it's all going to hell in a handcart and we're all doomed. And I think what I want to tell people today is there is a middle way. There is ways in which we can really utilize AI, whether you're a small or medium-sized business, to really get ahead and actually give you an edge in this future.
Wow, I love it. Love it. And we highly encourage everyone listening to take notes, because there'll be some great information that she's gonna share here. So if you could talk a little bit about, Helen, about, what were the first steps that when you began, you see AI, you heard it was coming, now it's here, it's been evolving at rapid speed over the last few years. What were those steps that you took in your organization to transform your business, and then how are you using it with your clients?
Sure. I mean, I think we started maybe a couple of years ago, but when I say that, we didn't start with any great intention apart from to say, okay, this tech is here. We all had that first moment, right? When we went on ChatGPT, we typed something in and it spurted something back, and we all felt that slight shiver, that feeling that something real was happening here. We started to embed some elements of AI into the business fairly early on, and we got some help in, and I think that's important, like looking around for those technical experts at the very start and knowing what you don't know and trying to learn from as many people as possible. We certainly made some initial missteps. We've all, again, used some AI where you get back some very random, very hallucinogenic responses. And for a while, we were just using it like a lot of people are using it, like the kind of search engine basic tool, testing out some thoughts and maybe checking it for a few typos here and there, and some really basic systems. It wasn't really until the summer of last year, and this is true. So I took some time out. I was lying on a beach on a sun lounger, and I'd been listening to a podcast talking about these new tools like Replit and Lovable, and I had no idea what they are. And I got to understand that these tools are they're AI, but they're an AI tool that actually allow you to build your own computer software. And the interesting thing about these types of tools is you do not need to know a single element of code. What you do need to have is an idea. So I just got testing, got a little bit into it, tested a few things out, and I just really started to experiment, and I got totally hooked. But because we can now start talking with these computer systems for the first time using our own language and not computer code, it really does free up so many more businesses and entrepreneurs to really start engaging in these systems and playing around with them. So we got playing with it, went really deep, and I would say to a lot of people, if you are in business in particular, or anyone, just start experimenting with some of these tools out there. There's Replit and Lovable, which will help you build tools, but we also know the LLM types of tools like Claude and ChatGPT. Just start testing them out, trying them out. There's lots of things that they can do, and you're not going to really know until you get stuck in yourself. So when we started using Replit, we started to build out this concept that had been bubbling in my head for about a year. We're a sustainability communications agency. So we essentially work, like you said, with big global brands and NGOs to help them communicate about climate change, but also things like human rights, challenging highly regulatory topics and helping them to communicate on this subject. And we thought, there's a lot of data in our heads, a lot of expertise, and there will be a lot of businesses out there where they all have original expertise, the things that only they know, the way that they do things that only their business does in that particular way for their clients that makes them special. I think it's about honing down on some of those things and really building that into where does AI sit within those really great things that make us uniquely us. And for us, we understood that we know the areas that look like greenwashing. And we can really see those nuances. To be honest, currently better than AI can do on its own, like a usual LLM service. We all know if we put something into ChatGPT or Claude, we ask the question, we get something back. We ask the question again, we get something very different back. So we know that there's a level of challenge around the trust of what is the actual correct answer. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to tell with the way current systems are.
Yeah.
But we knew that there was a way in which we can really build our own knowledge of what we tell our clients, what we help our clients, and build that into a framework that can act as an AI framework along with the regulatory requirements as well. So what we essentially did was take our knowledge in our head, our consultants, plus the regulatory framework, build that into a computer program, pull the juice, if you like, from Anthropic to be able to generate it all, and then build out our own system and tool. And that's really how Zena was born. So essentially, it takes our proprietary knowledge, the global regulatory environment, uses the AI system, and therefore we're kind of giving over some of what's in our head into an AI system for more clients to use. So that's essentially what we have done over the past 18 months.
Wow, that's fabulous. So in this way, like what you said, AI can, it depends if it's ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity, or Gemini, Copilot, any of these different things. They could give you a slightly different thing if we just ask a general question, but you had put in specific language proprietary to you, like prompts they call it. I guess that's what I've been, but these prompts, so that now it's just taking what is yours, but in this way, spinning it in a way that probably, to the average person it's always gonna, put it out in a much better way than we could do it naturally.
Exactly.
At least I know for me that would be the case.
And we also give it a score. And so that it's so important that consistency of the response, particularly when we're dealing with regulations, right? It's very important that we are always giving a consistent response and a consistent score. So it will score your content on how at risk you might be. So, there's a dial that comes up and it gives you a score. The more we then give guidance back to the user in terms of how to keep improving that content. So we don't rewrite it, because really at this stage, I don't feel that the systems are there good enough. Even the great systems like Anthropic and ChatGPT, they're not good enough yet to be as nuanced as they need to be for understanding the regulatory and the greenwashing space. However, what we have done instead is it generates, again, using our proprietary data, questions and prompts back to the human about what it needs to think about in order to improve that language and de-risk further the areas of greenwashing. So we are almost giving the prompts to the human rather than the human giving the prompts to AI.
Wow, that's fabulous. And like you said, when you're dealing with regulatory type stuff, you got to be careful, right? Because there's so many, things that you have to adhere to in terms of compliance and stuff like that, depending upon who you're dealing with and so on. So it's so important. But also sometimes how people interpret things can be different, and that's the beauty about the AI part, is how it could help you to help craft it in a way that somebody can understand it. How one personality for as an example might process it compared to someone who's completely opposite, that type of thing.
Exactly. And we know that European guidelines and guidance will be different to US guidelines, likewise in Japan or in Asia.
Correct.
So making sure that those nuances within the language is already built in, it's kind of accounting for that. And within the system, you can also pick your region. For some businesses that we work with, obviously they want to know the full global scope, but for some they might just be operating in the US. So the US is enough for them to understand what they need to do. I would say to a lot of businesses as well, it's really worth thinking about that piece about what makes you uniquely you. I think particularly in this world of AI, because let's be honest, there is a lot of businesses, particularly in my industry, but there is a lot where we know there's levels of work being shaved off from what we're doing currently. And we know that that is potentially coming. There was some data that was released from Anthropic, I think about 2 weeks ago, which has shown, you may have seen it, the areas of industries of how people are currently using AI and where they view the capabilities of that AI over the coming years. And so essentially, which industries and which jobs are likely to be taken over. We know that some of that is coming, but there is so much, I think, of hope for businesses to get ahead and transform. And I think that's what I'm really keen to get across as the message, because what we've learned is not to fear AI, but to really bring it into every part of your business. We use it every single day for a range of work. Bring it into the business, make it work for you, but also look at what makes you uniquely you and understand where you might be able to codify some of your thinking into an AI tool. And if I can just give you a bit of an example for us.
Yes.
When we're talking about greenwashing, we have a framework called the impact method. So essentially the impact method is what we have used for many years with our clients about how do we ensure that the language and the communication is risk reduced. And we can give confidence to our clients that they can speak on these topics with full backing. So integrity is the I, so I for integrity. And then M is for meaning, so making sure that everything you say has meaning in what you're communicating. Proof, so always showing the evidence when you're speaking. Action is the next one, so making sure when you are talking about these topics, you're talking about what's happened now and what you've done rather than what you're going to do. Consistency, making sure that all of that communications is consistent across all your channels at all time. And then transparency, so feeling and becoming comfortable with admitting the difficulty and the challenge and also where things go wrong. And so we always apply that thinking, and that's our proprietary method in terms of our approach. And we built that into the Zena system so that it is thinking in the exact same way that we would as consultants if we were sat down with you and we were looking at your regulatory language and data. And I guess what I'm saying here is that's what is uniquely us, but there are businesses, all of these businesses listening out there will have something that is uniquely them. And taking some time to sit down and sketch that out and understand where that could fit and how you could utilize AI to the benefit of your business and your own USP is really where I think is a good place to start.
And what I loved, like you said, it's AI. We're not dependent on it. You don't want to ever be dependent on anything, but you want to be able to say it's a tool. It's a tool that enhances what we can focus on, what we're good at, and allow it to do what it's great at. And when now you bring that together, it complements one another to give more impact and value to the end user. Exactly.
And then that also means, of course, upskilling and reskilling your existing team, because we don't want to take away jobs because of AI. What we want to do is then say, okay, well, if this is the AI piece, where does the human come into the system as well? And again, for us, we did a survey with a lot of organizations within our industry, and we said, would you use a tool like this? Most people said yes, but the vast majority of people out of those that said yes, but with a human. It was overwhelmingly people want yes AI, but we want to know we've got access to a human in order to talk to and discuss and do that last 80, that last sort of 20% of the 80%, that last few miles to do the sense check with a human to verify and have that full confidence. Now, I don't know if that will change in the future, but that's certainly where our clients and our industry is at the moment. So yes AI, but yes AI with humans. And that's also an opportunity, because it's about them reskilling some of our team to say, okay, well, this is how we're going to work with our clients now. And we've got an AI piece, but then we've got more of a consulting piece.
I believe in what you shared there. Even for heavily task-oriented type people, like, analytic people, where, emotion is always the last thing they take into account. But when you think about it, the human element with it gives that emotional intelligence that gives them that feeling like, okay, I can buy into this type.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think, it's here. We can't, well, some can bury their heads in the sand, but we're going to get overwhelmed by it if we do. So it's much better to say, okay, it's here. Let's start embracing it. Let's start testing it out. Let's start trialing it out. It's okay to bring it into our systems, and let's understand how we can make it work for us now and get ahead, rather than think, I'm not interested. It's not going to happen to me. The wave is coming, and I just say, get on board and get stuck in, really.
Great. And I think sometimes the resistance is because of the, they don't know, they don't understand it. They're afraid that they're not going to understand it, or it's going to, take over their business and they lose complete control, whatever that perception is. People are always going to be different in how they look at it. But what you just said, that you're not giving up full control, you're giving up some things that you could focus on what you are already good at, and you're working with AI together, you're adding so much more value to your business in terms of the people or the industries that you impact from it.
Yeah, 100%. It's a co-worker, right? It's very much a co-worker for me and our team right now. Yeah. I
love it. Is there any, like when, if somebody is what you're sharing here today, like some people have heard of ChatGPT now, Claude, Perplexity, Copilot, Gemini, but there are other versions. You mentioned, what was it, Relic? Like that part?
Replit. Replit is what we built Zena on.
Replit.
Yeah, and there's also Lovable, but there's plenty of them out there. And I think one of the things, if you're interested in building your own AI tool, one of the top tips I found, a little bit too late in the day, I wish I'd have known, but we then started to use Claude to prompt the Replit tool. Yes. So instead of me just directly speaking to Replit and telling it what I want, we then transferred the work to working directly with Claude, getting Claude to write the code and the prompts, and then we would take that and put that into Replit, and it exponentially improved the system.
Got it.
Just that one little tip is worth loads, because it really stopped a lot of wasted time and a lot of wasted errors, because I'm not an expert. And I think, there's a bit of hype around, oh, you don't need to know coding, you can get straight in. And that is true to a point. But when you come up against some challenges and it becomes a little difficult, if you're a novice like I am, working those out takes a huge amount of time. Yeah. So using something like Claude to then help you navigate that is a real win. So I would definitely suggest doing that if you're interested in going down that route.
I agree. And one of the things that I've learned is I've gotten better using AI, and I've gotten better at prompting. Some people said, well, Chris, isn't that going to make you less intelligent, because now AI prepares all your presentations now? I said yes, but it's still my content. It's not that I'm allowing it to make the content for me and I'm just speaking to it. But what I've learned so much. I think I've gotten smarter because of the AI. Yes, I agree. I'm not writing as much as I used to. Okay, I get that. That part I get. But nonetheless, when I'm able to share and have conversations, oh my God, I've learned more from AI than I did from even when I grew up reading encyclopedias or even learning on Google.
One of the things I love is to actually get the AI to prompt me. Yeah. So I get it to challenge me, ask me the questions. What do I need to know? And so actually that's them forcing me to think. It's forcing me to learn, and it's challenging my thinking. And actually, so yes, there's something to be said for you prompting it, but it's very exciting when you start getting it to prompt you back. I think that's a really good brain skill as well.
I think absolutely. So yeah, that's just a message for all of you that have been kind of shying away and just, you're afraid to look at it because you're going to lose control, especially for you heavily task-oriented individuals out there. I can understand the reasoning, but nonetheless, what Helen is sharing, this is so valuable, can really take your business to a whole new level, not only to help streamline your operations and processes, but also in the value that you're giving to your clients that you serve. As we get near the end of the show, because I want to have time to make sure that people get to know you, Helen, is there anything else that you want to connect the dots to what you shared? I know I wish we had an hour to talk about this, because there's probably so many other things we can go with this, and we're definitely going to have you on the show. But anything else that you feel that can really connect the dots with the overall message that you shared with us today?
I think only just to say, take some time. If you can treat engaging with AI as a bit of a game and a bit of a hobby, and not take it too deeply serious that you have to feel so compelled that oh my God, this is happening, I've got to get involved. If you can take an approach that I'm going to have fun with this, I'm going to test this out, I'm going to just experiment. If you can take that approach and that mindset, I think it will pay dividends for you in the long run. You will learn so much in the process. You'll take the pressure off your shoulders, so that reliance or that feeling of I really need to get into this and do something meaningful. Just take that first step is what I would say, and treat it as a bit of an experiment. Test it out and give AI some of your biggest challenges. The things that keep you up at night, from a work perspective, give it those really tough questions and see what it comes back with. Some of it will not be good, but some of it might just spur another idea. So use it as a bit of a sparring partner, just to test out those ideas and just take it from there.
Valuable advice. We hope everybody, lets that absorb in, because it's so important. And we want to make sure everybody here gets a chance to connect with Helen here. So Helen, first, before we do that, I want to thank you personally for taking time to be with us here at Business Influencers, not only for myself, but the rest of the team here at the Touch of Life Foundation, which TALRadio is part of. We want to thank you for being here. How can the audience best get in touch with you? What are you up to, and anything that you'd like to provide them?
Yeah, sure. So you can reach me on LinkedIn. So I'm Helen Neal on LinkedIn at HN Communications. We are running in the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks. We are opening up Zena to anyone that wants to try it out, give it a test. The only thing we're asking in return is some honest feedback. What do you like, what you don't like, what you wish it did. So if you are in the regulatory environment, or if you're working in a space where how you talk about issues like climate change, human rights, sustainability is important to you, we'd love to hear from you. If you're open to come and test it, tell us what you think. We'd love your feedback. We are also, we've got a nice event in London on the 18th of May. We're going to be in New York on the 22nd of September as part of New York Climate Week. So any of the American audience that want to meet up, I would love to see them later on in the year as well.
Absolutely. We'll make sure all of that information, everybody, will be in the show notes. That will be here on the TALRadio.org platform, as well as YouTube, Spotify, and Apple, no matter where you choose to interact with this episode. So, Helen, thank you so much again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks so much, Chris.
Thank you. And listeners, we want to thank you each and every week joining us here at Business Influencers. Again, we are committed to bringing in subject matter experts like Helen in to help share their words and insights and personal experience to help elevate you and your business's level of influence to the next level. If there is any content you'd like to hear on a future episode, feel free to reach out to our team here at Business Influencers at Chris@ChristopherSalem.com. That's Chris@ChristopherSalem.com. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you here next week at the same time, same date, and take care.